And I'm going to mute the lines and we're going to rock it. And hopefully we'll get our first guest here in just a moment. But while we're waiting, I want to talk to you guys about our event. So, I forgot the most important part. Like, I've never done this. So big waves out there. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Wednesday. There's something about the double hand that makes you happier. So if you're feeling a little grumpy or a little stressed out, just throw up two hands and just do this at somebody. They might laugh, they might think you're crazy, but I'll tell you, you'll feel better. So it doesn't even matter. But thank you guys so much for jumping on here tonight. I am always honored and excited to have you on here. And we've got a phenomenal call lined up for you with some really special guests. You heard one, Coach Palmer is here with us. And then we're going to have two more. So I'm just looking at this waiting room and seeing where they're at. But before we move into that, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our event. So I got to say, this has been one of the most fun launches that I've ever been involved with. To just the amount of response, the amount of people that jumped on this right away has been phenomenal. And so, Coach, I was hoping you might be willing just to share a little bit about the event. I can share my screen if you want me to throw up the flyer, but just talk to us a little bit about the excitement, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll throw up the flyer in a minute. And I apologize for background noise. I'm actually out of town, and I'm headed tomorrow to Oxford, Mississippi. Excited about that. I'll be with Cynthia Bolden and her organization, and Andrea will be there. We've got an exciting evening tomorrow evening. But I'll say this, talking about excitement, this is our fifth annual event in Florida coming up in February, at the end of February. And I want to tell you, today we opened the doors to this event. And I knew we had a lot of growth, a new growth, a lot of excitement. So many of you, congratulations, you rank advancements. Congratulations for the income that you've created. Congratulations for the health that is happening in your life, which is the biggest blessing of all, right? Because our health is our true wealth. So many things are happening. And I told Andrea when we were talking about it, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen when we launch this event. And Andrea started building flyers and doing things for the event. Doesn't she always do a tremendous job? How many of you? So here's the beautiful thing. Out of the gate this morning, it went live, 8 a.m. Central Time Zone. 30 minutes in, the hotel was calling. Like the booking hotel there in Florida was like, oh my goodness, we've never experienced this many people getting rooms. They almost thought we were joking around when we said we're going to sell out and you're going to have to add to the blocks of rooms. And they were almost, Andrew will tell you, when we were booking this, I was having a conversation, they were like, yeah, kind of like not going to happen. I mean, they didn't say that like rude, but you could tell we blew it out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we already booked through the bookings of the entire hotel. Like, when I say they had to open up more blocks of rooms, like we blew through them today within the first couple of hours. Let me tell you, when I said this event would sell out and Andrea said this event would sell out, I think there were people in the company, even brand partners, it was like, yeah, we've heard that before. 75% booked right now, 75% capacity as of this time right now. So just so everybody knows, that's never been done. We've done a lot of events for a lot of years. This has never happened. So when I say, if you haven't got your ticket, don't wait around. Don't wait around, because it is very important to go ahead and lock it down. Don't procrastinate, and make sure you're reaching out to your team, because I don't want your team mad at me, and I sure don't want them mad at you because we didn't let everybody know that now's the time. It's so 75% capacity. Andrea, if you will, show the slide. We'll put this up in Partner Co Nation and Telegram after this call. But obviously you can see this flyer's been going around. We're just going to continue to build. We're going to continue to add to this event. There's going to be more and more exciting news to come. The owners will be there. The executives will be there. The field leadership will be there. The how to build in our system will absolutely be there. On the mastermind on Thursday, we've got breakout sessions that we've never had where there will be rotations. We'll have more to come about that. There's going to be beach time. There's going to be a lot around that beach time. More to come. Exciting news about that. And then obviously our end of the event celebration will happen on that Saturday night. So bottom line is 75% max capacity already there. So if you don't have your tickets, get them. If you don't have your rooms, book them. And just a lot of excitement about that. And you'll see flyers and things happening from now until the event in February. But congratulations to you. I want to tell you what I'm most excited about, Andrea, and I'll turn it back to you, is I'm excited of how this organization, you on this call, are learning and mastering how to build for an event. Black Friday, we built for Black Friday. You come out of the gate like a locker room, ready to win the national championship. Like you came out of the gate, and here's what's going to happen over the next couple of months is you're going to move that inventory. You're going to move that product. There's going to be a lot of income created because what happens at the beginning of the year, as people start to get closer to the beginning of the year, they're going to be like, man, I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on maybe dropping some pounds. I need to focus on 2024 and being a new version of myself. They're going to focus around creating more wealth for their family, for them and their family. It's going to focus around the finances. I've been doing this at a high level for a long time. That happens every new year. And you guys, with your inventory, you've already positioned yourself for a big explosion coming into 2024. So congratulations. But you also built for this event in Florida, and I can coach it. Andrea can coach it. The other leaders can coach it. But what's happening in the field is you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely dominating building for events. So I could not be more happier. Andrea, I'll turn it back to you.
Yes, well, this has been so much fun. And I did get a call from the gal at the hotel. And I told her, I said, we are going live at 8 a.m. So I need everything like to go really smoothly. You told me you're going to have it ready, blah, blah, blah. And I said, they're going to go quickly. And she thought, like, she does not know me. She thought I was blowing smoke. So when she called me back and I kept messaging, I'm like, I think we're full. I think we're full. I think we're full. And they literally kept writing me back saying, I'm sure you're fine. Like it's probably just people are choosing the wrong dates. Like they were kind of poo-pooing me a little bit, like I was just wrong. And then she called me. She said, my bad. You are sold out. You did move the entire block. We added more, but people tell us all the time that they're going to sell out the rooms the first day. We've never had it happen. And I said, oh, you don't know us. We don't make empty promises. So that was big fun.
And Andrea, I want to add to this. As you say that, here's what's happening, and I'm so excited because I'm hearing more and more brand partners. How many of you were? First of all, if you got your if you already booked your ticket, put a 1 in the comment. See everybody that's coming. Like if you've already booked your ticket, I'm gonna go ahead and do my finger 111. I've got my tickets. Go in Partner Co Nation. Go in Partner Co Nation and throw it around. Throw it around on your regular Facebook page. I'm gonna throw mine out tonight. I actually put a picture of myself, the ticket today. I know a ton of you did. Let's do that. Let's create the energy. You got your ticket. Go throw it in Partner Co Nation. Throw it on your regular Facebook page. Throw it in your stories. Because I want to tell you what's happening. People are coming. People are looking. You heard James Zhang, if you were on the Monday night call, talking about 2 industry leaders reaching out to him over a Facebook post of showing before and afters of hormone balancing skinny drops. And these 2 magnificent ladies reached out. He ended up taking them to Puerto Rico to meet Darren and John. Just today, I had a lady, not going to announce her name, had a lady reach out and someone in the past Limu era that was our company reached out and said, I want back. I want in. And this person had built a huge distributorship, and so I share that with you to go, if you're out there promoting, you never know who's sending you a message. And inside of Messenger, make sure that you're looking, because if you're not friends with them, they might have sent you a message. Andrea, what's it called in Messenger? Like it's like you have to click, you have to go to the three lines and it'll show you people that maybe is not your friend. Like I don't know the
Oh, the
name of it.
other, your other folder.
It's like another folder for messages that are coming through. Anyway, just a FYI, check that, because message requests. Yeah, it's called, thank you so much, Susan. It's called message requests. But here's what I'm here to tell you. People are going to reach out to you. I don't know who they are. I don't know when it'll be. But if you're posting at 9 and 3 and you're putting excitement and energy in your post, like I got my ticket, headed to Destin, biggest event ever. Like you don't know who's going to reach out, but there's been confirmations of people just like you that people are reaching out to going, okay, give me the goods. The company's doing something. I want to hear about it. So guys, just keep creating the noise and the energy. Andrea, sorry for jumping in, but if I'm in this company right now, I got to be putting it in people's face, because they're coming, they're seeing it, they're asking questions, and that's just going to be a trend. We're like, we don't, if it hadn't happened to you yet, don't get uptight. Don't compare. Here's what it'll tell you. We're in a marathon here. Like we're just getting started here. So just stay the course here, right? And your windfall's coming. It's coming, okay, for everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much, Coach. And we're going to switch gears here for just a minute. I've got a gal that I just spotlighted. So thank you, Ruby. I'm going to add myself up here with you so you're not there all by yourself. So hi, and with a little one. So
I
guys,
have a helper, sorry.
we love helpers. Never apologize for a helper,
Hi,
especially
Ruby.
if they're that cute.
Hey.
So that boosts ratings right there. So thank you. And thank you for helping Mama tonight. So guys, I want to introduce you to Ruby. And Ruby and I are best friends. We just met the day before yesterday. And I heard her story. So I was on the phone. She was talking with her actual best friend, Courtney. And Courtney, if you guys don't know Courtney Pickett, she is doing some big things in her neck of the woods in like the Arkansas, Tennessee border. And she's been inviting a bunch of people to check out the drops, and she talked to Ruby. And I had the pleasure of jumping on the phone, and I got to hear what these drops are doing for her. And I said, okay, I know we just met. I know you're brand new, but would you be willing to share that on our team call? Because it was a super powerful testimony. Yes.
So before Ruby speaks, I just got to put this out there that Ruby's beautiful daughter, I helped get a spider off some blocks while I was in Marion, Arkansas.
Oh,
And
you were a hero.
I did. I stepped in and helped. Do you remember?
You remember?
Yes.
Yeah, she remembers. Okay.
Was he
She's
at
so
Miss
beautiful.
Courtney's
Okay.
house? Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
humanely relocated the spider
Of
to
course.
a new greener
Absolutely.
pasture.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Yes, we
Good
did.
job, Coach. All right. Well, I'm glad you were a hero. And Ruby, if you wouldn't mind, would you just share what these drops are doing for you?
So really cool things. Actually, we were talking the other day because my mom signed up under me, and I didn't tell her until after. I kind of hid it. I'm one of those people who starts something, but I don't quite follow through every single time. And I really wanted to like do something big before I told her. And then I told her, and I told her about what it did for me, and she was on board immediately. So we were talking to welcome my mom. And then Courtney suggested that I share what they did for me. So I suffer from severe adult ADHD, very bad. And in January, I had to come back to that. I like to be in control of it, but that I was not, and it was affecting my job and my everyday life. And I had to ask my doctor to put me back on medication. If any of you have ADHD, you know that we don't really love that. But I did. And since January, I had been taking an extended release tablet in the morning and one at lunch just to make it through the workday and survive everyday life that I live. And it became a habit, like a normal, just wake up, that's my routine. And Courtney talked to me about, I actually had just seen her posting, and we went to brunch one day and I asked her about them. Pretty sure that was her end goal anyway, but I did ask and we talked about it. And I tried them, and I started them on a Tuesday because of the holiday. And that very first day, out of habit, I woke up and took my morning medication. And I realized halfway through the afternoon that lunch passed, and I never once thought about the second one. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I feel fine too. And so I was excited. And on the third day of taking them, I didn't think about the morning one. And there have been, I think, two. If Tanya was here and told me, you need to write that down so that you remember exactly. I should have taken her advice. I did not. I think there's been two times. I can go back and find out, but that I have taken one or the other on a rough day or a hard day. But um, I get through my days, like, this mental clarity for me. It has been a huge game changer. I have put off making annual appointments for my kids that I should have done. I accomplished in 30 days. I have accomplished making those appointments for my kids. I have tackled catching up on things at work that I have put off for absolutely no good reason other than they just seemed daunting to me, and they no longer did. I say still like a work in progress, but I also am not relying on some medication every single day. I actually have that is overdue for the first time in 11 months. And for me, that's a huge thing because I hated to even ask my doctor to rely on that kind of thing again. And some of you either have struggled with that, have watched one of your children or maybe a friend, and it's a rough road. And so I'll scratch your back. Especially like this, you're pulled in 50 directions. You already have an attention issue, and I I didn't even measure myself. It wasn't weight loss for me. I was like, ooh, hormone balance. I'm about to be 40. Like, that's what I need to do. So I tried it for no reason other than let me try it out. And the benefits I've had have been amazing. I got on a scale at Courtney's house one day, I just saw it and I was like, oh, okay, well, I had lost on a scale number wise, almost 20 pounds. Not just my body now craves healthy things, which it did before, but I want those things. And it's been a huge, huge thing for me. Mental clarity, my attitude, my calmness, my demeanor. I feel like I handle things better. And if you know anybody who struggles with those kind of things, maybe it's a me issue, a reaction that I had to it, but highly recommend suggesting that angle too. I'll be glad to share with anybody. That's why I wanted to do it. Was not about making a huge business, but I just want to share with people like how awesome it is, and I love it.
Well, I love your testimony, Ruby, and I appreciate you joining us and your daughter joining us. And I just love that sometimes we can pigeonhole these products and we can say it's just going to help in this one area. But what I find is the more people we hear from, the more people we share with, the more people that are being blessed by them. So happy for you and what you're creating.
Yeah, and I want to add something too, Andrea, because I met Ruby at Courtney's and got to meet her beautiful daughter, And, you never know the impact that it's going to have on somebody's life. And so we met. Um, and then after I left, Courtney, I got to give a big shout out to Courtney because Courtney actually, and this is a tip for everybody out there. Ruby had not signed up. She hadn't, but Courtney actually went. I think it was Halloween or the day before
It
Halloween,
was trunk or treat, yes.
trunk or treat, went and sat in a car with Ruby because they were about to go to trunk or treat. And, I had nothing to, it wasn't about me, but Courtney got me on a Zoom with Ruby. So sometimes going to the person and getting that third party validation on. So she did that. Ruby then enrolled. And although it's blessed her health so much, but I'm so excited for Ruby. She's ultimate in gold, status in the company. She's put in some brand partners. She's actually got, an opportunity to grow overseas in another country. I mean, so you never know the ripple that you have in someone's life. And by Courtney stepping up to the table and going, let me share. Now, today, Ruby is blessed by that share, and Ruby's going to do the same for others. So, this is so exciting. Ruby, congratulations, and thanks for
Thank
being
you.
on here.
Second that, and further, more like, don't be afraid to be that person that's just bold. Courtney was bold with me. I'm a person, and she knows that about me now. I needed that. Like, I probably wouldn't have jumped on it like I did if she just didn't say, it's okay. It'll take 5 minutes. I'll meet you there, and we'll jump on the call with him. You can learn about it, and then listen and be that person who is just reminding people it's welcome. If people are interested, it is welcomed. It's not offensive. My first week of social media sharing, I work a full-time job that's very engaging. So she would remind me 9 a.m. reminder or 3 p.m. reminder, just and she thought she was annoying, and she was so not. I told her every time, thank you. Like, I loved it. Don't be afraid to be that person.
Well, I absolutely love that. And Ruby, congratulations. Courtney, congratulations. And thank you so much for being on here tonight. So appreciate you. And oh, how cute. Well, you guys have a great night. And guys, we're going to switch gear again. And Coach, I've got a flyer to show, but I know that you wanted to say a couple words before I brought our next guest on. So you let me know when I can share my screen, but you got a couple things
You
to say?
can go ahead and share, and I'm gonna let you introduce Dr. Crystal Vance, but I want to say something. Like, as I CEO in this company, and Dr. Crystal Vance went there last month, and we got her on tonight, and she's going to give some nuggets, some wisdom of her journey to in this industry and what it means. But for me, it's emotional because I mean she's a sister to me, and I look back on my life, and 10 years ago she wasn't there. Like, I didn't know Dr. Crystal Vance. Um, I didn't sponsor Dr. Crystal Vance. Actually, Robin DeMeo did. She was the rock star. But, you know, there was at some point, I couldn't tell you when it was, I flew out to Wyoming and I spent my first, you know, experience with Dr. Crystal Vance. And it, it created a building block of relationships through the years that now she's a sister and I do anything for her. But we talk every day. Some days good, some days bad, but we have a talk every day. Like, it's okay to have good and bad conversations. And what I've seen her do, because everybody looks at, if you're not following Dr. Crystal Vance on social media, Instagram, Facebook, you're missing out because you can learn so much from her. But what I know about her from being her, or I'm gonna say she's my best friend. Like she's one of my best friends in the world. And I know that 5 years ago, she wasn't that person on social media. Like she'd make posts and stuff, but she wasn't that person. And so all of this is it's a learned thing. And she would be the first to tell you, she's my age. We're both middle aged. Like every reason she could go, yeah, I'm not that young. I'm not, whatever. But I watched her go to workshops that I was not there. I watched her do things, and then she would come back and try to tell me, and I'm like, I don't even know what she's talking about, but I got to act like it's exciting. And now I see it being implemented. And I've seen her over the last several years, and I've seen how much value she's added to people. So the rank is amazing. The money is the most Dr. Kristal Vance has ever made in the industry. I mean, it's unbelievable the money that CEO is, the financial rewards. What her team is doing and has done is unbelievable. But even as much as she's done in her life before network marketing, to see the growth curve that has happened blows me away, brings me to tears. And I can't tell you how many times I've told her, like, she'll call and ask me something. I'm like, I could only screw this up. Just do you. You go do it. Because I'm scared to say anything because you're so much better at this than me. Like, and Andrea, I just, Andrea's like, I know you want to say a few things. The biggest thing I want to say is she's got a servant's heart. So CEO's amazing, the money's amazing, the what the team's doing is amazing, but it is a shining example of if you go find ways to add value to the world around you, you'll get and move in the direction you want to move. And she's done that. So Dr. Kristal Vance, I love you. I'm so proud of you and the team and what you're doing. I know it's not about you. I know it's always about the team. And you guys your team exemplifies what it means to be a tight unit, bond, an example of what an organization should be, a bunch of people that love each other. So congratulations, Andrew. I'll turn it back to you because I know you want to say a few things before Kristal comes on.
I
Well
do.
deserved.
I want to brag on Kristal too. Darn it. You used all the words. So I will do my best, but I'm going to say this. This is a perfect example. So today, Kristal was on an airplane. She's traveling across the country, like one coast pretty much to the other coast. So it's not like this was just a little puddle jumper. That's a hard travel day. And I forgot that she was traveling today. And I'm like, hey, by any chance, I'd love to have you on. Would you be willing? And she's like, well, let me, yes. She said yes first. And then she was trying to figure out the logistics if she could make it happen. And I think that says everything about her because I really did try to give her some outs. I'm like, oh, it's a hard travel day. That's at dinner time. Like, are you sure? And she said yes. And then I planned
She's
for it.
actually with a group of people right now. So
Well,
like she's
Helen and
out
I
and
too.
about with a group of
Out.
people. Yeah.
I think she might be in a moving vehicle. So put your seatbelt on. But anyway, so yeah, so be safe. And hopefully Ashley's a good driver. So if that's the driver, no, she's not. Okay, well then, well, that's okay. We don't judge that hard. So, I will say that just shows her heart. I messaged her to help with the call. I messaged her to help with a prospect because I needed some doctor advice. Anytime that you message her, she does her best to help. So I do try to be careful because I know that she's got to sleep and I know she's got a team and I know she's got to eat and she has all these babies that she's got to take care of at her house. So, she's a busy lady, but I love her heart for helping all of us. And, she is a phenomenal resource in terms of knowledge about the products and what we can do to get ourselves healthier. But just like Coach said, she is a phenomenal resource to grow the business. And so, Kristal, congratulations. So excited for you. It was so fun to have to make these high ranked flyers. Like, we don't get to do that because those are big, big achievements. So it doesn't happen every single day. So congratulations on all of that. Just so proud for all of your team. And I'm hoping if she's not frozen, that you can share a little bit about what got you to CEO. Like, for those of us out there that want a little piece of what you have, what can we copy from Dr. Kristal?
Oh my goodness. I'm glad that I was driving with Mario Andretti just a second ago. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can hear me? Okay. Yeah, Mario Andretti at also Ashley Paulson found every pothole in the road in Phoenix as I was trying to keep my computer stable. But she did get me to the destination, so I am stopped now. So during that, Brent, I just want to say yes, you're my best friend. I am blessed with a lot of best friends. And that's one of the things that this has brought about from Andrea. You don't tell your best friends no. You say I'll figure it out. Like, you need me. I know what it's like to try to find people to talk on a call. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And from Ashley to my parents to so Ashley's like, to hit CEO, it means that team rallied together and they made big moves. Ashley Paulson's team rallied together and made big moves and rank advanced. And then my parents, Dave and Bev Vance, they rallied and their whole team rallied and they made big moves. And then Valerie and Joe Hine. I always say Randall. So I went to high school with her. You know how people keep their last names even when they get married? Valerie Hine, that team rallied and made massive movements. So it was so cool because this is what I did. I focused on helping those people hit what they were running after. And then all of a sudden I was like, Brent, I think I can hit CEO. And he's like, are you serious? Yes, I think I can hit it. I'm like, it's going to take a miracle, but it can happen. And all of a sudden, like, we got a couple days in, and I'm like, it's not going to be that. I mean, it's not going to be that big of a miracle. Are you kidding? And so, what I want to say is 6 months ago was the lowest of the low when it came to business for me. Like, Brent didn't want to answer his phone because he was tired of listening to Kristal cry and moan and want to jump off bridges. I can't tell you how many cement shoes I wanted to put on and jump in my pool because it was like, how long can you bang your head against a wall? God, is this really my story? And I'm not doing anything different today. Well, there's some things we got better at it. But I was working then too. And so some of you, I want you to know that you may be out there and you're doing the things and you're like, it's not paying. That's part of it. Brent and I talked about this. Like, I went to college and I spent a lot of flipping money to go to college. A little less than I planned on. That's another story for another day. But, you right? I spent a lot of time, 8 years, to go to school to get that doctorate and to go through boards and roommates and renting a studio apartment that had maggots in the refrigerator. Like, I could go through all of the terrible stories of college. I can go through the same terrible stories of getting to CEO. See, I basically did academy to become a professional marketer. So I don't have a problem going to courses and going and learning from other people because that's what I had to do in chiropractic school. I wasn't supposed to be out there doing it. In fact, the school would get mad at you if you did. And I said, I don't care. I got to go learn because no one's going to teach me if I don't go become the student. So I go and I learn to go out and help other people because that's what I did as a chiropractor. I went out to learn so that I could help the next patient that laid on the table. So this, like, what I want you to know is if you're looking at this event as an expense, all right. I looked at college that way too. I figured it out. I didn't have money to go to college. My parents didn't have a massive bank account to be writing checks to send me to college. I figured it out. I sang in karaoke contests to pay rent. You do what you got to do. If I had to have a garage sale, I would to go to this event. If I had to have my dogs have puppies, and I'm telling you, I'm not ever doing that. But if I had to, I would. I'll do whatever it takes to get to the next event because at that event is when things change. And at this last event, something changed. Not just for me, a lot of people. David Daughtry, it changed for him there. A year prior, I had gone to one of these courses that I go out and I learn about things. And then I'm like, how can I go help somebody with it? And I thought I was taking the right people with me so that they could go learn. And I had it all planned out how I thought it was supposed to be. And I learned some things at that event. I came back and that became boards. The information that came from there was boards that we threw into the Renew system of growth, which most of you don't even know what that is, but you do because it's called a system of growth. And a system is a system. And we plugged Slender Eyes into the system that we had all created for Renew. And now we all have created for Slender Eyes. In the beginning of July, we got everything converted because we saw what they were doing on social media. And now all we do is have everybody marching to the same beat. The people in Ashley's team are doing the same thing that's happening in Dave and Bev's, the same thing that's happening in Val and Joe's. We're all just doing the same thing because we have a system. That's the point of a system. There's no need to recreate the wheel. We just kind of keep the wheel. And so it's so much almost drives itself. And that's what's happened with this system of growth is we're getting to the point where it's so simple an 8-year-old.
Well, Elvis left the building. So I'm going to say this to add to that. So if you're so everybody's on the Zoom tonight, you are all thinking different thoughts, okay? And a lot of those thoughts are surrounding around where you're at right now in the business. You know, Mary Catherine sitting there, and she just hit senior vice president, so her thoughts are high. But someone else is sitting there tonight, and their thoughts are that they're doing all this, working all this, and it's not bearing fruit. That's what Kristal's talking about. It's the bearing fruit. And I see she's back. So here's what I'm here to tell you, and she'll take back over, is are you posting at 9 and 3? Are you using boards? Are you using the correct scripts? Are you posting around 9 and 3 about friends and about family and just about life? Are you plugged into a supporting group that's loving on your post as you love on theirs? Are you going to be like Dr. Kristal that reached out to her upline and said, I think I can get to the next rank? Andrew Rosser, I have people all the time that reach out to me and say, why didn't you, Brent, tell me I was close to hitting a rank? And I'm like, really? You're asking me to be motivated for you? What if I don't show up? See, Kristal reached out to me and said, "Hey, knock on the door. I want to go to CEO. Help. Let's do a call with my team. Let's rally the troops." If she was in person, that is her grabbing me by the shoulders and giving me a big shake. Are you shaking your upline, or are you blaming someone?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, what I'm excited about that you're hearing about tonight is there's so much wisdom wrapped around what Kristal just shared with us. I know she's back.
I am. Sorry, y'all. My Uber driver, though, thankfully was on the call, so I was able to just get on her phone.
Good job, Ashley.
I just want, if there's anything I want to say is thank you to everybody, because every single one of you that's on here, you're a part of the momentum that is all ships rise with the tide. Right? So you being here you're a part of the tide. You are creating energy inside of here that we all feed off. Every single one of you. This team hitting CEO just isn't Kristal, Vance, EGW. Because if I can hit CEO, Andrea Rosser's team can hit CEO. Richard Lemke's team can hit CEO. Sandy McFarland's team can't, like, it's whatever you want to put in motion. And I'm telling you, I used to look at that 13,334 number like, oh my gosh, that's so much. It's a week. And then all of a sudden, when you have a bunch of people who are doing and stepping to the same rhythm, it's not. And what I have found over the last few months is it takes about 90 days of people marching together to optimize. And I know that time's going to get less and less. But right now, if you will identify a couple key people and you take off running with them, you're going to get there. Do the things that are working. Don't stray. Get back and do what everyone else is doing. And here's the thing. When you're lighting a fire, what do? You get the sticks together and you get some kindling underneath it and you light a little fire and the fire starts, right? And then what happens? Well, sometimes organically the wind goes by and blows and that fire gets bigger and takes off. But otherwise, you have to pour accelerator on it like an event, or you have to blow on it to get that fire to go. So Black Friday, we were all marching in rhythm. See, our funnels were full because we've been doing 7-day launches. So we blew on that with the Black Friday event. And then our next one was the holiday promos that are happening every week. And then the final blow, maybe not the final, but the next thing that we're focused on is the Slender Eyes for January, the 28-day Slender Eyes body transformation. But this stuff was planned back in August and September. So it doesn't happen overnight. Neither did college. I worked a plan. The team came together. We're all working. And I'm telling you, if you do the same thing, you'll get the same results. Between now and March 1st, almost that go to Destin, that's December, January, and February. What is that? 90 days. Your business could be absolutely different before you go to Panama City. And it should be. And you know how you start it? This week. Last night, I went in and put a 7-day launch. I scheduled it. All of my posts are in there. I know I'm traveling this week. That's okay. I need a 7-day launch to fill my funnel so that I'm ready for when they come out with the Slender Eyes body transformation. It's not by accident that I'm going to have people in that And it's not going to be accident whether you do or don't either. So if you want people in that January event having success, that in February you're saying, would it make sense to pay $29.95? And oh, by the way, we have this incredible thing. If you launch your business, you could create enough income that you probably could pay for your trip to Florida and see everything that's happening. And that wasn't by accident. You planned it in December. Go get your people. Do not miss this. But your upline can't do it for you. But we will do it with you. I love you guys.
Dr. Kristal, that was amazing. And I want to piggyback what she said. So if you're sitting there tonight, you're one of two places. Like you have you and some people under you, or you're sitting there and it's just you. Okay? So that's one of two places. Here's what I encourage you to do, and Kristal just said it. Set a 90-day mentality for the next 90 days. Head down, focus. I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm just going to put one foot in front of the other and do the deed, do the action. So here's what I encourage you to do. If you're single by yourself and you're ready to go do this, contact your upline. Contact somebody, even if you got to find somebody that's cross-line to you, and go, you know what? I want to be in a supportive group. I want to be in this supportive group. I want to make my post from 9 to 3. Here's my rank. In the next 90 days, I want to rank to this. Like get a 2x2. Get someone. Like rattle someone's shoulders like Kristal did me and say, I want to go to CEO. Let's create a plan. And then if you're sitting there with the team right now and you haven't done a call with your team, you haven't put your team on a Zoom with a leader, or maybe you take the initiative and be the leader, put them on a Zoom and coach them up on what to do and coach them up on going to this event in Florida where you're going to learn from Dr. Kristal Vance and others. Like get in touch with your team and lay out a game plan of 9 and 3. We're going to support each other on our post. Like lay out a plan of action and then go work that plan for the next 90 days and watch how things will change, right? My mentor taught me a long time ago, if you want to get bigger, you got to get bigger. You got to grow, right? And so how do we do that? We set a 90-day mental focus, like Dr. Kristal said. We put a plan of action together by shaking a partner's shoulders and saying, hey, help me, do Zooms with me, do calls with me, rally my team, and then go after it with a relentless effort for 90 days. It's hard to stay positive for 90 days. People can have go-go spirits for one day. They might can do it for a week. And then you're going to have a few that make it a month. But the warriors will stay consistent through 90 days. And we've all got the warrior inside of us. We just got to choose to step out and make it happen. So Dr. Kristal's an example of that. Andrea, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you for doing these calls.
Oh, my pleasure. That was phenomenal. So thank you both so much. Thank you, Ruby, for sharing. And what a powerful call. I hope you guys all got value, because that's what it's all about, is to reach out to the people that are winning, to the people that are doing what we want to do and say, hey, teach me. Let me learn from you. Let me fall in your footsteps. And all I can think about when Kristal was talking, what is it, like the 4-minute mile? How everybody thought that it wasn't possible, right? You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. And then one person did. And guess what? I can't run a 4-minute mile, but a heck of a lot more people can today than they could before that. And that's what I love about this group and this team. We got to see Kristal grow. We got to see this happen. And we got to see, you know what? This is possible. We all can create what she's creating, maybe in a different way, but she's leading a path for us that we can go try to duplicate. So thank you both so much. Love each and every one of you. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Can't wait to see you back in the morning at the Coach's Corner. And again, one more plug, 75% full for the event. If you haven't got your ticket and you want to be there with us, please go host a garage sale, go turn in your recycling. I don't know what you need to do. I'll tell you, I've driven 28 hours to get to an event before because I could not afford the flight. So we drove. It was a fun experience. Kind of don't recommend it, but we did it. It was great. And the event was fantastic. Okay. I would ride a skateboard if I knew how, and if I had to get to the event. So if you're struggling, go figure out a way to make it affordable for you, because you're going to get so much value than what you're spending. So please join us. But thank you guys. Love you so much. And yeah, go sell some boxes and you could get there. So love you guys. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you again and have a great night.
Thanks. Good night.